So for 2013, Yamaha came out with a new sport touring motorcycle, the FJR 1300. We brought it out here with two of its competitors, the Honda ST 1300 and the Kawasaki Concours, to Death Valley. We did a nice 450-mile day yesterday, and we've got a lot more riding in store.
Joining us on this tour is our good friend Cam Co. He was with us on our adventure touring shootout a couple months ago, and now we're putting him on these big sport touring bikes to see what he thinks of them. He usually rides sport bikes. So Camming, what's your early impressions?
Well, again, being a sport rider, at first I was teasing Tom. I said, what a pig these bikes are, and I said I would never own one. But on the way up here, through some of the twisty roads, I found myself very impressed with all three motorcycles. Having an electric grip and an adjustable windshield, it took away, all the discomfort I would being on the sport bike. And now I'm seriously considering, maybe entertaining get one of these days.
Okay, so we have finally made it down to Badwater, Death Valley, the lowest place in North America, and they've got a nice sign denoting it about 300 feet up on the hillside over here. We have done a lot of miles in the last about 2.5 days. We're heading home after this, and Kev, what have we found out?
Well, sport touring class, I think as it's grown and developed, they're becoming luxury sport tours. The electric windshields, heated grips, shaft drive. They get to be porky things. It's a different sport touring realm than it used to be. Sport touring bikes used to be lighter. But if you're into high-speed cruising, these things are excellent for that. And locking saddlebags, got room for all your luggage. And if you got to go a lot of miles, these are great bikes, but they are getting heavy.
What I've come to find out on this particular one, fantastic transmission, very smooth shifting. You can do clutchless upshifts, no problem. So when you're really kind of getting on the sporty side of this, it tends to act like a sport bike. I mean, it's really a modified ZX14. Adjustable windscreen, better ergonomics, but the engine and the way it handles makes me feel like this is the uncle to the ZX14.
So Tom, you talked about some of the high points of the Concours. What's the negatives?
It is middle ground in terms of weight, but whereas the Honda disguises its weight the best, this disguises its weight the least, and its handling leaves something to be desired. And one of its actually worst features is going to be its linked braking. When you apply the foot pedal for braking, it just produces too much front end braking force, and it disrupts the chassis. If you're going into a corner, it can just upset everything, and it takes away the fluidity of your cornering. They need to redesign that. These other two are link braking and don't notice nearly as much intrudence as this guy. But what brought us on this trip is this new Yamaha FJR for 2013. Kev, what's the highs and lows of this bike?
Well, it's been really impressive on this trip. I think we've all enjoyed this. It stands out in a lot of key ways. One of them is cruise control. If you're doing long distances and you got cruise control, it's just magic, helps you go down the road. And then when you're on one of these other bikes, you're going, why doesn't this have cruise control? Ride-by-wire throttle assists the ability of cruise control, and it's a great feature over the other ones. Also, I believe the instruments are the most up-to-date, modern, and readable. I prefer the instruments over these other two with the analog dials that looks a little bit dated. And we've also got, I think, the best brakes of the group. And again, the engine response, like Camming was talking about, when you want to get going, you don't have to worry about downshifting like you might on the Concours. You just twist the grip. It's almost like an electric motor. It just hauls you out and gets you up and going. So there's a lot of good things about this FJR. It was a good bike before, and now with these updates for 2013, it's really elevated the game.
Now spend more time on the Honda. It's old styling, this and that, but this one actually handles real well for what it is, for the massive weight. The Honda's a bit softer with acceleration, probably least amount of horsepower out of the three, but it's most comfortable in a way, more car-like a feel to it. It's so quiet. Yeah, this thing, I really love it. It gives, for some reason, it just, I feel at home, more accustomed to it. But it's true, it's wide and it's bulky.
The Honda is super friendly, even turning it around at parking lot speeds. It's like I was saying, if I had to do the MSF Concours on one of these bikes, I'd choose the Honda. Just it's more responsive and easy to do low speed stuff at.
And the crazy thing is, that thing is 740 pounds. It is 100 pounds more than the FJR, about 50 pounds more than a Kawasaki, but you would just never know it.
Also, the ST, it's got the best gas mileage. Every gas stop we've been at, best fuel mileage, and it's got the biggest tank, so you got the most range.
Well, here we are. We're actually kind of facing Panamint Valley, which is on the west side of Panamint Mountain Range, which is Death Valley that we just came out of, and we're heading home. Kev, what's our overall thesis?
Well, to me, the Honda is the luxury sport tourer, and if you want to go two up in comfort, I think that's the best choice. But it is more expensive than all these, which is amazing for the oldest bike in the group. And for 18.2, I'd want some heated grips as standard, like these guys have. So the Honda has its own special spot in this group, but I can't say it's the winner.
Definitely couldn't say it's a winner, and like you said, largely it's a price-defeating argument because, you know, both these bikes cost a heck of a lot less and they come with a heck of a lot more. The integrated aspects of the Honda and its maneuverability and handling really are something to envy, but Honda needs to update that bike if it wants to beat out its competition.
And like we were saying last night, they give it another 10 horsepower, they lose 20, 30 pounds and update the instruments and put some traction control and other features on it. That thing could be a winner once again, but not this time.
And the Kawasaki, which does have a nice electronics package, where's it fitting into the mix?
Well, it's kind of middle of the road. It is the sport, you know, emphasis on the sport side of things, but I don't think all of us were really fully comfortable with the way it handled, especially when the Honda works so well, weighing considerably more than the others. And Concours is a great bike, but I think we got a new winner in this class.
It's low price, it's cruise control, heated grips, ABS, traction control, is looking pretty good. Camming, what'd you think?
I wasn't sure about the FJR, but now personally, that would be my bike.
The FJR comes in, it's the cheapest price, and it's the lightest weight. Those two things right there are like things that elevate it to the top of the class. Hard to go wrong with the FJR 1300.
Yeah, I would definitely say that the FJR strikes the best balance between sport and touring. We got a little bit heavy on the sport side, a little bit heavy on the touring side over here. And if you want to know more about all the objective details on why we also chose the Yamaha, make sure to go read the story.